So, welcome to my page. All right. So, if you're a creator, you know the deal, right? So, there's this pressure to look perfect and to be producing content all the time. It's exhausting. But what if there was a way to amplify your presence without burning out? Well, what we're about to dive into is a seriously game changing technology that promises to do exactly that. I mean, this hits home for so many creators. It's the belief that every single post, every video has to be flawless, has to be a high end production, and is really just a relatable struggle. And according to a lot of people, it's a mindset that was holding a lot of people back. It's something that was holding me back, actually. And that's what leads to this thing that we call the perfection trap. It's like a vicious cycle where you need to be camera ready, right? And sometimes it can take something that you love, your creative passion, and it can just turn it into a really stressful job, right? So creating content for social media should be fun. But if you get into your head too much, it can become stressful. So the core problem that we need to unpack before I get to the solution. So you've got this gap, right? So on one side, there's the expectation where you need to be flawless, hair and makeup need to be perfect, perfect lighting, and you always have to be energetic and on, right? So sometimes we don't really feel like that. But the reality is that it's time consuming, right? It's super stressful. Like I was listening to this girl, she's like the number one person in making shorts. And she said she would take like 10, 20 minutes to get her energy up, right? So that's stressful, especially like if you're a parent and you have kids and in the back of your mind, you know, I have to post, I have to post, I have to post, or I have to show up online. That stress alone can stop you from what you need to do. And it can hold you back. So there's this huge disconnect. And it's a perfect recipe for burnout, right? So here's the twist. What if the answer wasn't about working harder? What if it was just about showing up in a new way? So this is where a new piece of tech comes in. And it's real. It's a real turning point, and it's the arrival of the digital AI twin, or as we know it, the AI avatar. So just think about this for a second. What if you could share all your ideas and make all your videos and connect with your audience, all without the stress and the time suck of having to be physically in front of a camera for every single take? What would that open up for you? And that's exactly what an AR avatar is. So it's not just some tune, it's your digital twin. It's designed from the ground up to be a consistent brand version of you, or you can even create a whole nother person and let that be your brand. And that literally shows up for you using your voice and your style. There's even technology out there where you can use a whole different voice. So just think about it for a second. Your avatar never has a bad day, never has to get her hair done. It's never low energy, right? And your avatar is always on brand and delivers the message exactly the way that you wrote it. And it just gives a level of consistency that's impossible for any one person to keep up on their own, right? So we always hear how content is king. Content is king. You got to keep posting, right? But honestly, it's just impossible for somebody to do without burnout. All right. So this is cool and it's time saving for sure, but it goes deeper than that. So this is about turning your creative output into a 24/7 operation. I'm talking about unlocking a whole new universe of opportunities. You know, It's like cloning your creativity and then just putting it to work 24/7. It's not about replacing you, right? It's about duplicating your best creative self and letting it work around the clock for you. So, what do AI avatars actually do? Well, picture your digital twin is hosting a webinar for an audience on the other side of the world while you're asleep. Or maybe it's recording an entire library of tutorials in one single afternoon. I just got done creating some content, batch creating content with just clicking on my computer, and it looks amazing. So you're automating the delivery, which frees you up to focus on big ideas. Being able to do all that, that's not just a little change. That's a huge shift for your brand. And it starts completely changing how you can make money. So first up, people can use their AI avatars to land brand deals. And you know what brands love? They love consistency and volume. So you deliver your AI avatar on a silver platter and you're able to come up with the content that the brands need. And then all of a sudden, you're a way more attractive partner for those big collaborations. And what else? What about digital courses? So this removes the roadblock of you sitting in front of a camera for hours and hours and hours. And then you can produce an entire course with way less friction. When you put those two together, more brands, more digital products, you get the holy grail for so many creators: passive income, right? So the power to make money while you sleep, while you're on vacation, while you're brainstorming your next big thing. This is a game changer, okay? So I can almost hear some of you thinking this sounds amazing, but it has to be super technical and complicated, right? Let me tell you, it's really not. Like I said, I just created some content just by sitting in front of my computer today, making some clicks. Well, the whole point here is about working smarter and not harder. I'm going to say that again. It's about working smarter and not harder. And honestly, the tech is just simple. It's easier than you think. So let's talk about everything that you can just stop worrying about. You don't need a bunch of fancy gear. You don't need a pro setup. You don't need fancy lights. You don't need your area to be clean and organized, right? You don't have to have some complex software. And the big one, you don't need to be camera ready yourself anymore. The whole thing really just boils down to a super simple process. First, you do what you do best. You craft your message. You write your script, and ChatGPT or Copilot or whatever you're using can help you with that. Second, you generate the video with your avatar, and that takes just a few clicks, like I told you. And the third, you deploy. You send out your content to go and work for you and to be your mini salesperson for you. You publish it wherever you want and you let your digital twin get to work for you. So I'm just going to bring this all home to the most powerful idea. So this isn't about some faceless AI creator. This is about you, right? You totally missed that wave of social media just by just being scared, being shy, not being consistent, not being able to focus. You missed all of that. This is an opportunity right now, right? This is about you to overcome yourself, to overcome some of these things that's been holding you back. It's about taking everything that makes you and your brand special and just amplifying it, right? Scaling it to another level. And you can do that all by yourself. No makeup, no stress, just you. And it's the perfect transformation. You get to remove all the friction, all the pressure, and what's left is just pure, powerful essence of what your message is. So I just want to leave you with this one thought. If all those barriers, time and energy, and the need to be on camera are just gone, right? If all of that was out of your way, what are some amazing things that you would create? And you can leave that in the chat. Thank you so much for coming by. Yeah, what are some amazing things that you would create? I literally saw a girl online on here who is creating movies using AI avatars, right? And it doesn't have to be that big, right? It can just be an avatar that you created that helps you to sell your digital products. For instance, I do have a digital product that I sell, and that's available to you. And it just shows you how to create your own avatar. And then once you create that, you can go on from there, right? So nothing will be holding you back. This time right now that we have, you have no excuses. No excuses at all. If you miss this one, that's on you, right? So a lot of people miss crypto. A lot of people miss when the internet first came out. Some people are not old enough to remember that, but when the internet first came out, a lot of people missed that. A lot of people miss social media, the opportunity to cash out through social media. And now we have AI. Don't miss this one because it's here. It's not a fad. It's not a trend. It's literally here, and it's been here, right? And that's how these things, they start implementing these things. They start implementing them slowly, 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 until slowly you realize, okay, so I can't, I can't operate without these things that they've implemented. Remember before smartphones, people were able to use a dumb phone, and then slowly it was like you can't do anything. You need a smartphone to, if you go to a class, they'll say, oh, you need to log in and do this through your smartphone, or you need to banking, especially, they'll say, oh, you need to download the app, things like that. So guys, this is not a trend. This is not for fun. This is not a playground. You can really actually use this to your advantage. Okay. So if you're camera shy, you can create content without worrying about how you look. You can land brand deals, build digital courses, and start generating passive income, right? You can show up online and be consistent. That's the main one. All right. So thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk. I really appreciate it. Huda Beauty, thank you so much for joining me. And you guys have a great evening. Bye bye.